Hola, mi amigos, for the third time. I I tried to do something different with the title. Didn't work. We're also being pretty censored today, so it's been this way for the last couple days. It's interesting how it works. Every time you get to that point where you're like, oh shit, this might be working out. It doesn't. That's usually when shit gets shut down. What's up, dude? Whoever shut off my lights getting fired. Fired. You hear me? Boy. Alright, Earth is flat and space is gay. Such a weird thing. The whole gay stuff. Like, I grew up with gay being a very common word. And we didn't mean it necessarily as being homosexual. Just like when I say something is cool, I don't mean when you touch it, it's not warm. It's different. But to know that saying it upsets people, well, I don't need to say it. My vocabulary is better than that. I'm not that entitled. I'm not that arrogant. Well, I like saying it. I don't care. Well, I like the Redskins as a football team. That's my favorite football team. I don't care if that's offensive and it was made to be offensive. I like it. It's interesting how arrogance always takes over. It's all just arrogance, man. I can't believe that's after all of this back and forth and all of the research and all of the everything involved. It turns out that it's all about arrogance. It's arrogance that keeps everything working the way it does. It's arrogance that keeps, the Jays in control. The genocide keeps happening. It's the arrogance that keeps the average Christian being a Christian. You don't have any logical reason for it. You don't have any you don't have any proof, you don't have any evidence. It's nothing along those lines. It's solely arrogant. Same thing with the earth shape. It's less arrogance in that regard that again, I guess it's all the same. It's you stating it's a fact because you know it's a fact because you were told this and you believe it to be true. They did a much better job with the space and round earth proof bullshit than they did with religion, but it's all the same shit, man. It's all the same blind arrogance that just keeps you focused in the direction that you want to be focused on. You believe what you want to believe, and a lot of times you don't even know why. I think one of the most fascinating things about the earth shape argument is how angry it makes people, especially the people that identify as a Christian. You guys should be like, yeah, that's what the Bible says. I've always wondered that, but I'm so glad this is, becoming more obvious. And you'd think like you'd embrace it. But it's weird because it's like, people get way more mad about the earth shape argument than they do, hey, there's a genocide taking place. The genocide doesn't make them nearly as mad. The pedophilia doesn't make them nearly as mad. The idea that they're a dumb slave, it doesn't make them nearly as mad as the is when you say, hey, I don't believe the same thing you believe about the earth. And I don't believe it because, unlike you, I've actually looked into this thing. You believe the way you believe because that's just the standard narrative, and that's, the cursory knowledge you have from school, or maybe some documentary you watched on the History Channel or whatever. But you've never actually looked into any of that shit. You've never looked into NASA. The word that means to deceive in Hebrew. I mean, just that out in the open. It's so obvious that it's in the name. Just the name itself. Before you go looking into any of the claims and all that other shit, just look at the name NASA. It just happens to mean to deceive in the language of the people that control the United States. That makes sense to you? That's one of those just happy coincidences. Right? When shuttles blow up, it's not always an accident. I mean, how about the Challenger? How about the fact that it's been shown, I assume it's been proven, I guess I can't say for certain it's been proven, but from what I've seen, it sure seems like the people who supposedly died in the Challenger didn't die. Two of them have twin brothers. The other ones are just people who happen to look exactly the same way but older and have either the same name or similar names. Like it's a joke, right? It's an insult, right? And it's weird that like, so this is where arrogance steps in, right? Because arrogance is, you're going to say, okay, clearly they are lying to me about this. But when it comes to this, when it comes to the shape of the earth, when it comes to whether God is real or not, when it comes to, any of the things that we believe, insert the third thing. When it comes to any of that shit, dinosaurs, whatever, we believe what they tell us to. We sit here and go, okay, I know they're lying about this, and I know they're telling me the truth about this. When you don't have any, what are you basing it on? What are you basing that distinction on? And I'm not necessarily saying you, the person commenting. I'm just saying you in general. This is what we all do. So many of you, most of you, I mean, if you're old enough, I think these new generations have no idea. But those that are old enough, me and older, we were given the Kennedy narrative a lot. We were all given the Kennedy assassination narrative. That was a big topic when I was a kid. JFK, the movie, came out, shit like that. The vast majority of us, even if you don't know the story, if you're presented with the official details, you're not going to believe it. And the thing is, do you know what your belief requires? If you say, yes, I believe the narrative, that means you believe in a magic bullet. That's literally what they say killed Kennedy, was the magic bullet. Man, I am getting shut the fuck down today, am I not? This is weird. This is weird. Is it because I have the title saying what it is? I'm always trying to figure it out. 3 viewers? The magic bullet, oy vey. Well, but that's what I mean. Like, most people will say that's a fucking ludicrous story. It's insulting for you to want me to believe that. Magic bullets and lone gunmen and you know, everything associated with it. Like, it requires a substantial amount of faith. I'm not real good at faith. And so, and the thing is, you know, even those of you who are good at faith, you arrogantly say, no, I think my masters are lying to me about this. This doesn't. And so you don't believe it. But those same people that tell you that, the same people that like, you have to believe it. If you can't belong to the club and then you pick and choose the rules that you live by. The club has the rules. You have to follow the rules. You want to be in the club, you follow the rules. So for you to say that you know, well, I don't believe this rule 52, that says I have to believe Kennedy was shot by Oswald. But I do believe rule 26 that says the earth is round. I believe that. I believe we went to the moon. The same liars that tell me about Kennedy, and I don't believe them about Kennedy, but I can tell. I have access to information that most other people don't. So I'm making an educated decision here by saying, you know, hey, I'm gonna look at this. All those people that are scrutinizing this and making points, I'm not gonna listen to any of the points they have to make. And I'm just gonna say they're all wrong and crazy. I believe the narrative on this one. It's funny that the conspiracy theorist is never the one that says, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I don't want to hear your arguments. I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to try to engage you on that. The conspiracy theorist is the one that always wants to engage. The official believer, they want to interject and tell you you're crazy, you shouldn't say these things. And if you go, well, why? They go, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna sit on the fringes and talk shit. Okay? I'm not gonna explain anything. I'm gonna reset one more time, I guess. We'll try something simple on the title. We'll see what happens. Morning, Matt. I'm resetting, so hopefully you join us.